please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our July Board of Supervisors meeting. There was an executive session held right before this meeting. And we'll now move on to public comment on agenda items. Are there any comments on any of the agenda items here tonight before we vote on them? Nope. Secretary's report?
I didn't have any issues.
Any issues with last month's minutes? Nope. All right, cool. Treasurer's report.
All right, general fund and investment escrows and liabilities, $8,068,770.96. Highway aid fund, $1,411,000 and $1,411,482.17. Capital reserve fund, $2,692,874.98, for a total of $12,173,128.11.
All right, we'll follow that for audit. Monthly bills.
Bills, general fund paid, $682,669.52 for a total paid of $682,669.52. Escrow fund paid $4,118.25 for a total paid of $4,118.25. State highway fund paid $5,417.76 for a total of $5,417.76. Capital reserve fund $184,471.26 for a total of $118.25 for a total paid $471.26. Total paid bills $876,676.79. I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second. Motion to second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll then go into reports. Lafayette Fire Company, they take care of the east side of the township. In June 2025, they had 8 calls for service in Lancaster Township. Lancaster Township Fire Department on the west side, June 2025, 42 calls in Lancaster Township and 234 calls year to date. Fire Department, anyone here tonight?
Sure. So the only thing we had that I was expecting others to show up, but probably because of the rain, they didn't make it. We have our annual fund drive mailer coming up in September. Goes out end of September for October, November. We wanted to do the walk around like we did 2 years ago. Just wanted to make sure the supervisors were okay with us doing that again.
Fine by me.
Sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
When that goes out, again, like we did last time, if you can give us
we have our annual fund drive mailer coming up
on the website so we can
in
affirm the
September.
people that mail is coming out.
End of September for October, November.
We have a volunteer
we wanted
fire,
to
unpaid
do
fire
the walk around like
department.
we did 2 years ago. I have want to make sure I have a meeting later this week, so I'll get some stuff from them
Fine by
to
me.
give to you, and I also have it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
When that goes out, again, like we did last time, if you can give us
we have our annual fund drive mailer coming up
on the website so we can
in
affirm the people that mail is coming out.
end of September for October, November.
We have a volunteer
We wanted to do
unpaid
the
fire
walk around like we did 2 years ago. I have want to make sure a the meeting later this week, so I'll get some stuff from them
Fine by
to
me.
give to you, and I also have it.
Sewer reports. Printed copies of all reports are available at the township office for a nominal fee and can be printed from the website. We'll now move into workshops. The first up is planning and zoning. Mr. Donnelly.
Good evening, thank you. Several items on the agenda tonight for action for the board. In addition to that, as I've reported the past few months, we remain pretty busy with building permits, although I think we are, at least value-wise, we are slightly lower than last year, year to date, but there were some pretty big projects that hit us last year, so I think that's the difference in the spike. Outside of that, grass is slowing down a little bit for us, but then we're also seeing a lot of like specific areas where it's starting to get to the point where it's impacting, whether it's regular shrubs and trees and so forth are grown out now and impacting sight distance. So we've addressed a couple of those concerns in intersections already, a couple more that we're starting to work on. That's keeping us busy. We've had to mow a couple of properties that were not responding to our enforcement of letters and so forth, so we took care of that. And a couple more of those on the radar as well. So outside of that, everything's going smoothly.
The property on Wilderness Road, which I'm sure we've talked about before. So given the tragedy and circumstance that happened there, the property owners are still responsible for the maintenance and for the overall, I guess, future renovation of that property, correct?
Yes.
Have they been in contact with their like insurance company?
So I had a meeting with them 2-3 weeks ago, kind of a pre-construction meeting and met with their contractor as well as the property owner. That's moving forward. It's been slow, as you can imagine, deal with insurance company investigations, all that stuff having to do with the fire, really slow things down. But they are moving forward. The house is going to need a lot of work. And while I was at that meeting, I pulled the property owner aside and reminded them, although the grass had just been mowed recently, I pulled them aside and reminded them that they need to keep on top of it because it had been pretty bad there for a period. We were actually getting ready to mow that, and they took care of it. So hopefully I'm keeping an eye on it. I try not to go by weekly, but I do keep an eye on that one. And they've been seemingly doing better with it.
Okay, well, I'm actually really glad to hear that. I can't imagine what it's like to experience that type of trauma.
Sure.
And then also having to try to take care of a property that was damaged because of that incident.
Absolutely.
But I'm really glad to hear that things are moving forward.
Seems to be.
So, for now.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Township Engineer, Mr. Weber.
Yes, good evening. The engineers report, are there any questions? Construction is moving forward on a bunch of things. Rain is falling out of the sky, in case you didn't know, so that's impacting a lot of things. Working closely with Public Works Department on a number of new initiatives that you'll hear more about in the coming months. So unless there are any questions on the report, I'd like to move into the presentation about recalling our township's history. And tonight is something rather special, especially for me, in that this is kind of the culmination of something I've been working on for several years with a lot of other people. And it's commemorating the Marquis de Lafayette's visit here in Lancaster. And we'll kind of get into several of these various components. Looks like we're up. So this July, we are, as part of a nationwide celebration of the 13-month reenactment of Lafayette's farewell tour. And there's a host of festivities here in Lancaster, as well as across the 24 states that he visited, both online and in person. We have a reenactor coming here to Lancaster later this month. But generally speaking, when people are younger than 40 years old, they have no idea who Lafayette was. So, sorry, no, please don't take offense. I'm just saying, generally speaking, that's kind of the cutoff of where the educational system stopped teaching about Marquis de Lafayette. But in essence, he was a fabulously wealthy French aristocrat, 19 years of age, comes across the Atlantic to join the Revolutionary War, to serve under George Washington. He makes massive amounts of donations of materials, money, equipment, munitions, all kinds of things to help the Continental Army. He goes on to lead as Major General, to lead various units of the Continental Army. He's wounded at the Battle of Brandywine. He then astoundingly is able to get the French government to send the French Navy. If you remember, the French Navy comes across and they, block Cornwallis at Yorktown, and Lafayette and Alexander Hamilton come in and block him from the land side, and thus winning the Revolutionary War. That's where Cornwallis surrendered. So at the end of the Revolutionary War, Lafayette was held in such incredibly high esteem that he was tantamount to George Washington. And as you'll see in the U.S. House of Representatives, here's the Speaker's dais. On the right-hand side is a larger-than-life, full-length portrait of George Washington. On the left side, larger-than-life, full-length portrait of the Marquis de Lafayette. And nobody knows who he is. So our purpose is, part of this effort, is to do this bicentennial reenactment to help people learn about Lafayette. And the reenactment is 200 years since his farewell tour. So in 1824, James Monroe, the president, invites Lafayette, now 69 years old, to come back to the United States, to visit the old battlefields, to see any surviving friends, and to make speeches and be celebrated and have parades. So he comes over. His bill is paid by the U.S. Congress. This was done in a time of great political turmoil, right? Things don't change all that much. But he comes across to help rebuild the spirit of 1776. And he's supposed to travel for 3 months. He ends up traveling for 13. He covers 6,000 miles and visits all 24 of the then United States, visiting battlefields, cities, old friends, prominent citizens. Everyone was clamoring to be on the farewell tour, to have Lafayette come to that city. At the end of the tour, John Quincy Adams authorized use of the American warship, the Susquehanna, to take him home. I mean, this was a free ride. So what I'm going to be talking about is what happened here in Lancaster County. So on July the 27th of 1825, Lafayette crosses the Chester County border. He's coming from Philadelphia, from Westchester. This is actually a map of the county from 1824, the year before he showed up. And that line that he's crossing here is what we call Lincoln Highway today. It was then the Pennsylvania and Philadelphia Turnpike, a brand new road that was built. He's traveling on this through Gap, through Salisbury Township, stops at several taverns, most prominently at White Chimneys, which is still a very well-known historical location in Salisbury Township. Stops in Paradise. If you might know where Clark Mechanical has a business sign there, there's this odd stone that's right there. And that's the stone that Lafayette used to get in and out of his carriage. And it's still there today. He makes his way into East Lampeter Township, and there's a massive gathering there, a troop muster, where roughly 5,000 people gathered. Now 5,000 doesn't sound like a whole lot today, but in 1825, that was 1/10 of the county's population gathered at that location to greet Lafayette when he showed up. As I said, he's making his way on the Philadelphia to Lancaster Turnpike. He's with an entourage of 3 barouche carriages. These are super fancy carriages from back in the day. Each of them had a team of 4 horses drawing them. And he had his son, his secretary, other people along with him, plus a carriage for all the swag, all the gifts that had been given him, including a copy of this very map was given to Lafayette. I don't know what happened to that map. I can't find out whether he took it all the way back to France or if he just gave it away. Not really sure. But as I said, he stops in Paradise and then makes his way to Groves Field, which is, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this before. Groves Field is approximately where Rosewood Terrace is. And if anybody from Lafayette Fire Company would be here, they would be able to attest that that's where the name came from, Lafayette Fire Company, and the Lafayette Water Tower, the Lafayette Tower Park. You know, go figure, these things do have a connection. And then he crosses the Conestoga into Lancaster Township, enters the city and has a parade beginning 5:30 and goes through the city until 7. I love to think, what is it that Lafayette would have seen? What are the things that we see today that we don't realize were here 200 years ago? So first, as he's making his way across, he's going across the Conestoga on that beautiful 9-arch stone bridge, illustrated here in 1802 by the surveyor who surveyed the entire route, and that's Whitmer's Bridge. You can see in the Conestoga Inn Tavern, you can see all the hills of Lancaster Township there that are all fields all the way up here, potentially as far as Rank Avenue. That building might be that far away. The view looking up that hill, up East King Street, must have been astounding. So he crosses over the bridge and heads up East King Street. And as many of us know, East King Street turned out to be too steep, so a bypass was created that was flatter, and we call that North Conestoga Drive and Rank Mill Road. So just on the other side, it makes a longer stretch for horses to be able to carry loads that far up. Now, in the middle of the bridge, there was a plaque that was placed in honor of Abram Whitmer, who built this bridge out of his own funds, without any contract from the county to purchase it, without any ability to collect tolls. So it was an astounding donation that man made to development of our community and our nation. Actually, that plaque then was taken from the old bridge when it was demolished in 1934, and you can see that plaque today. This plaque would have been seen by Lafayette when he crossed the bridge into Lancaster Township. As he came across then, got closer to the Conestoga Inn, or Whitmer's Tavern as some people call it. It was built in 1789, same year as the bridge, and that fortunately does still stand with us today, but it has been somewhat modified. The porch is a little bit different, form stone covers everything, but that building is still part of our landscape. Going further up East King Street, Lafayette sees our new county hospital built in the 1790s. So this was a matter of great pride for our county. And as we know, that has been replaced by Conestoga View. This is the old county hospital. That's the Alms House we see today. This is Broad Street and Conestoga View. So Lafayette makes his way into the city, and he proceeds to go on a parade heading west on King Street, going the wrong way, makes his way to Charlotte, and then goes down Orange the wrong way, heads up Prince Street the wrong way, makes a turn at James Street, comes down Queen Street the wrong way, comes into the center of town, and as you might see at the center of town, that's where the county courthouse was back then, back in 1825, right where the Soldiers and Sailors Monument is today. Proceeds to the south, hooks around, comes back in on East King Street, stops and stays the night at Slaymaker's Hotel, which, as many of us know, is where Blazin' Jay's chicken sandwich shop is today. So that building was not there, but is no longer there. But the Masonic Hall, where a fabulous ball was held the following night, Masonic Hall still stands today. Now, the parade route I find really fascinating from a municipal standpoint. That was advertised of exactly where the parade route would go. An announcement was made through City Council that everybody had to get the streets cleared of all animals, all debris, all trash, to spruce it up for the nation's guest. I have no records that anyone was arrested or cited or anything like that, but it is possible that a lot of extra effort went in to clean things up. 4 magnificent arches were placed over Queen and over King in all 4 of the directions around Center Square. And those arches were then lit with lanterns, flowers, all kinds of decorations on them. It really was an incredible parade. The Friday of last day that he was here, he was getting ready to leave and go to Port Deposit, Maryland. And as he was making his way, he had to use a pontoon bridge because just prior to his visit, his arrival, there was a massive storm and washed away the bridge that was there at Ingleside. And so a group of people put together a pontoon bridge so that he, his barouche carriages, and all of his entourage could travel. So the reenactment events that are going on, we've got an exhibit at Rock Ford, walking history tours, online speaker series. Then at Lafayette Tower Park, there's a massive gathering that's being held there. That's free. Another presentation at Franklin and Marshall College. The Bicentennial Candlelight Dinner and Period Ball, that's at the Trust 46 building. And they have asked me to appear in costume, but I've deferred. It's just not my cup of tea. So we'll see what happens when I get there. They may shove me in one. The Lafayette Day at Historic Rockford, a special musical performance, and then a grand send-off down in Peckway. So thank you very much for letting me yammer on about this. It's really something that's a bit of a passion for me, and hope that folks might check out these events and perhaps participate. So this leads into then hopefully later approval by the board for the proclamation of July the 27th as Lafayette Day in Lancaster Township. Thank you.
Thank you.
I like you guys and all, but Ben's the reason why I come to this meeting.
I come for 2 beds.
I may as well just roll right into the MS4 program update.
Way to bring it down.
You're having such a good time.
Really should have done that first.
I didn't have any choice in the order, okay? So,
What? Were you serious about that MS4 program?
yeah. It's next under my workshop thing.
All right, take it away.
Okay.
Get back in.
So, we're doing pretty well with the MS4 program. Public Works Department has been implementing the new Good Housekeeping program, and that's been going really well. We were able to complete our pollutant reduction plan and exceeded our sedimentation reduction goal by 15%. Very pleased about that. DEP did roll out their draft regulations for what's next, and those have me gravely concerned, frankly. So I wrote quite a few comments to DEP about that, because what they're essentially saying is that every municipality will have to infiltrate 88% of the impervious coverage within the municipality, existing, 88% of it over a 50-year period. Which it's insane. Yeah. They're also requiring that if there's a body of water in your municipality, that must be considered impervious as well. So I don't know what West Hempfield Township is going to do. How do they infiltrate 88% of the Susquehanna River? So it's really troubling, and I hope they think better of it. So we'll see what happens with those draft regulations when they ultimately roll them out. So that's all I have for my reports this evening. Sorry to
We were having a lot of fun. About 4.5 minutes ago.
It was a good presentation, even with MS4. So
Okay.
I enjoy learning about MS4 stuff.
Send it on to Public Works.
Anywho, thank you, Ben.
Sure.
Public Works, Mr. Crum.
Mine's going to be short and sweet. I don't have a whole lot for you, unlike Ben. A few things to note here. We did hire a part-time staff for our parks position, Eric Griffin. He started today. Seems to be working out pretty good. We finalized our stormwater infrastructure repairs for our paving project. So that will be going on. We have dates below there for our paving project this week. All that posted on the website. Potential subject to change with the weather, unfortunately, but we do have that on there. And we do have, included in the photos there, a bunch of storm event flooding issues that we've experienced 2 weeks ago, which hopefully.
Might be some new ones out
Might be
there.
some new ones there, yeah. One item for you, for action tonight is a handicap application for 914 East Chestnut Street. And then just one quick update on the River Road item there for the line being stuff. I did reach out to the contractor. They didn't get back to me today, but I know they're being pushed around with the weather and the heat, so it is on the schedule. I just don't have an update as to when, so I'm hoping before the August meeting it's done. That's all I have for you.
Any questions?
I had one question. I had a call about the pole, the power line pole at the corner of, I think it's Marietta and South Schooling.
Okay.
And the question was, when's it going to be repaired? Because it's at the moment it's leaning up against the tree with, it's been severed about, I don't know, 3 feet up, and it looked like somebody like really nailed it. And now it's kind of off into the trees. And they're just wondering if we know anything about it.
I'll reach out to BPN.
I don't even know what happened. So.
Unless the tree came down and pulled it down to the ground.
No, it was hit.
Okay.
It was definitely hit.
I'll reach out to BPN and see what we can do about that.
All right, thank you. Who do we got next? Chief Getz.
All right, so good evening. For June of 2025, we had 437 calls for service, 14 crashes, no fatal crashes, issued 168 traffic citations, 16 written traffic warnings, 12 misdemeanor felony arrests, 1 DUI, 5 non-traffic citations, and no overdose incidents. So 6 months in now, I'll give you the averages. We're averaging each month about 448 calls for service, 25 crashes on average per month, 136 traffic citations issued, 36 written traffic warnings per month, 14 and a half misdemeanor felony arrests per month, 3 DUIs per month, and about 8 non-traffic citations per month. I told you, I think it was last meeting, that one of our members, Michael Weaver, resigned. I put a job offer into a Jenna Kozer. She accepted it with the game plan to start mid-August. So, depending on if all of her equipment comes in on time. So she's done a couple of things already through the process, the background and drug test that she's completed. The hope is mid-August.
Where did she come from?
A couple of spots she's worked. Reading City, Wilmersdorf, the 911 center. So she probably has about 4 total years of prior police experience. And experience as a dispatcher always helps as well. So, any questions?
Questions? Nope. And as always, please pass on the thanks to the officers.
Thank you.
Township Manager, Mr. Wadeen.
We're halfway through the year. This is a year of transition. We've had large staff turnover, and halfway through this year, really happy to say that transition's been it's been outstanding. Without incident, and I think it's just pretty commonplace now to see all the new faces and everyone's comfortable, and we're moving along. We continue to work through the police transition process, but also started looking forward to the Public Works building. With your approval, Mike engaged an engineering firm and to do the geotech work and some design work. Mike should be back to you in the next couple of months with some updates on that. I asked him not to come in this month just because we don't have anything really substantive to sink our teeth into, and I want to make good use of his time. So you should expect to see something in So there's one other thing that seems to slip my mind. The prison, the new county prison, that has come along a bit quicker than we had anticipated. So I think, John, that we're looking at potentially a sketch plan from them here in the next couple of months.
They told us hopefully by September they'd like to be on our agenda for at least initial the planning commission, so.
And I attended the planning commission meeting last month. There was some interest expressed by members of the planning commission to take a look at our comprehensive plan. We're part of the regional comprehensive plan with the LIMC. A number of LIMC communities, in addition to the regional comprehensive plan, have also done either individual comp plans or are planning to do individual comp plans, or have done supplemental efforts to try to up that document's now 15 years on, so to try to update various provisions of that. So we're going to continue to have a conversation with the planning commission and come up with some ideas on how to make best use of everyone's time. You know, as a built-out community, we're more like a borough in a lot of ways than a township. We have limited growth opportunity areas, and because we have this really unique geographical location, it's really hard to do comprehensive planning for things like transportation without really looking at things on a regional basis. And even things like park and recreation, you know, if you're a RAFO township, you might be looking at locating neighborhood, regional, larger community facilities throughout, you know, dispersed throughout your municipality. With us, we have to take into consideration which facilities are available not only in our municipality, but with our neighbors. So I think what I've encouraged the Planning Commission to do is maybe take a look at a couple of growth opportunity areas that we have to develop and maybe focus their attention on seeing how we can best make use of that land and facilitate that process through the saldo or the zoning ordinance, and then identify which areas, like I said, transportation or park and recreation, which we should be looking at doing regionally with the LMC. So just making you aware that that's in the works, and probably sometime in 2026 we'll be coming back to you to figure out maybe more concrete steps. That's all.
Thank you. All right, announcements. Tuesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. is the Planning Commission meeting here at 1240 Maple Ave. Tuesday, July 22nd at 7 p.m. is the Zoning Hearing Board at 1240 Maple Ave. Monday, August 4th at 6:30 p.m. is the Historical Commission meeting at 1240 Maple Ave. Monday, August 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. is our next Board of Supervisors meeting here at 1240 Maple Ave. Tuesday, August 12th at 6:30 p.m. is our Youth Aid Panel meeting here at 1240 Maple Ave. Old business done. We're now going to move into planning and zoning. Take it away.
Mr. Chair, LTPC 333 Crossway Church, 330 Barber Street, Stormwater Management Site Plan. I make a motion we approve the Stormwater Management Site Plan, including waivers and modifications for Crossway Church.
Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 LTPC 330, 2460 Honeysuckle Lane subdivision plan. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve subdivision plan, including waivers and modifications for 2460 Honeysuckle Lane.
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 LTPC 187 Hawthorne Ridge Financial Security Reduction. I make a motion that we approve the request from Mike Davis, Lennar, for the complete release of Hawthorne Ridge Financial Security, and that is backed up by Ben Weber.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 LTPC 332, 80 Jackson Drive, Stormwater Management Site Plan, time extension. Mr. Chair, I just ask that we acknowledge the receipt of time extension from David Bittner Engineering, on behalf of David Costello, until October 14th, 2025, for the approval of Stormwater Management Site Plan for 80 Jackson Drive.
Second?
Second, just acknowledging.
Just get to acknowledge.
Oh, we're just acknowledging, yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. All right. We're gonna move into new business.
Resolution 2025-08, PennDOT Winter Service Agreement. And make a motion that we approve PennDOT Winter Service Agreement outlining the township's Public Works Department responsibilities for maintaining the roads during the winter.
So, sorry, oh, wait. Wait for a second.
No,
Second.
I'll offer a discussion.
PennDOT pays the township to maintain certain roads. In a lot of cases, it makes sense because we're crossing those roads anyway, and sometimes it makes sense because we can get there quicker and do a better job than PennDOT's limited resources. The only question I have before we move forward on this, because we haven't had a chance to talk, is we are having a hard time keeping up with our own roads because we have Southern Village coming on, Hawthorne Ridge coming on, and we tend to be short-staffed lately. Are we comfortable continuing to do these roads for PennDOT, and can we get to all the roads we need to with the equipment we have?
All the roads that are on this agreement are well within our means, and we're gonna be traveling on them anyway. For us not to do it just makes it more difficult. So for us, we might as well take the money and get the roads plowed open, because we're gonna travel them anyway. East Orange Street, Riverside Avenue, Wallbank Road. This does not include New Danville Pike, Columbia Avenue, and Marietta Avenue. So
Great.
those roads are not on it. And 741,
Hmm.
so that's not included.
What do you think?
Agreed, yeah.
But we haven't voted.
Well, there was a motion, there was a second.
We still have to vote.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. You want to be chair?
I thought you were gonna name
All City Management Services, Inc., and Lancaster Township contract for school crossing guard services for the 2025-2026 and 2026-2027 school years. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the contract between All City Management Services, Inc. and Lancaster Township for school crossing guard services for the 2025-2026 and 2026-2027 school years.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Mr. Chair, memorandum of understanding between the School District of Lancaster, Lancaster Township, and All City Management Services, Inc. concerning cost sharing and fees for school crossing guard services for the 2025-26, 26-27 school years. Make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Proclamation declaring July 27, 2025 as Lafayette Day to remember the high ideals of Lafayette and to celebrate the bicentennial of the 1825 farewell tour within our municipality. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the motion to proclaim July 27, 2025 as Lafayette Day to honor the bicentennial of his 1825 farewell tour within our municipality.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Should have made it the yes address up.
I was thinking the same thing.
Mr. Chair, we have a handicap parking application for Ms. Julia Torres. I make a motion we approve the application, which would be at 914 East Chestnut Street.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, guest recognition participation. If you have any public comments, not related to any of the agenda items, please feel free to speak your mind. All right, going once, going twice, going 3 times, and we're adjourned.
The woman that was here.
Engineering.
Oh, okay.